afternoon, Susan, and good afternoon to all our viewers. We're excited to be presenting our very first Temu review program. So far, we've had 2 small orders from Temu, and we want to share those with you. What do you think, Susan?
I think it's a good idea because really, I really have been enjoying the things we've got from Temu, and I would like to share that with all you guys. I think it's important, and especially the price. I'll tell you one thing, they do not support us on anything. That we're not getting anything from Temu. It's because we like the products and we want to share them with you.
That's right. We haven't been in contact with Temu about doing a video. We just sharing our findings with you fine folks out there. Before we get into the rest of the video, I want to thank you for clicking on the Open Bible broadcast today on YouTube and Facebook. So if you're new to this channel, could you help us grow? Just hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything we do. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Let YouTube know you like what we do here. That way YouTube will recommend our videos to more people, helping us to grow. This definitely helps out more than you know.
Yes, and the first thing I want to show you is this ladle. It's a really interesting ladle. And I think it was cool because I saw this strainer part, and I've always had trouble when I made soup and I wanted to make my husband's soup thicker and I wanted mine more liquid. I couldn't run the liquid out very easily because everything would be falling out when even if I put it by the pan. But with this thing, I could do that. I thought that was really neat.
It sure is.
Now, I want to tell you one thing. You cannot expect perfection from Temu because their prices are cheap. And you can see if you've worked at Plastic Factory before, there is some flash here. I know how to take care of that. It's just get a little knife and scrape it off. It's very easy, and that way you don't cut your hand or anything. And I just wanted to share that with you. And their prices are good. It's a good way to see if that product is good for you or not.
That's right. That ladle cost us an entire 98 cents.
Wow. Not even $1. That is so cool. And you can't even get that at Dollar Tree for that price.
That's right.
Now I have another thing here that I like very much. It's called a finger guard. And you go like this. You put your vegetables there and you chop them. And that way it doesn't cut your fingers.
You get to protect your fingers. That's why I'm running short. Not really, just teasing.
But I cut myself, I burn myself. I do all those things so easily. I'm so clumsy in the kitchen, but I love to cook. And I think that's something good to have.
That little finger guard cost us 68 cents.
Oh no, it broke us.
Yep.
The next thing I have is I had seen these covers. I heard advertisements on them, and I thought, whoa, I wish I could get some of those. They would be nice because I've gotten those shower bonnet type of things, and they would tear all the time. And I wanted something that I could put on some of the containers I didn't have lids for. I'll tell you, if you want to cover a plastic bowl, it's not going to work. But
that's because the plastic bowl is so flimsy.
Yes, and that's why I can't do that. But with this type of ceramic bowl, this is not from Temu, but I brought it out to show you. If I try this, it's going to It's almost the size, but it's not big enough. It's too big. It's not going to do it.
So you need to make sure that you have a lid that you can stretch over the bowl.
This one is too small. It won't stretch. But this one, if I go like this and see how I do it, yeah, put it on there and you use these little legs to pull it over. And it just gets on there and you get it really tight. You can do 2 or 3 different sizes with this same lid. But you push it down really good and there, it's covered.
You have a good tight seal.
That's so good.
Now, how many of those little covers did you get?
We got 2 sets of 6.
So a total of 12 lids, and that was $4.58.
Wasn't that a good price?
Real good price
At the
compared
stores.
to the stores.
The stores you pay like $14 at least for less than that many. So that's something I don't think I would want. Now this is called a herb stripper.
You sure it's not a herb stripper?
It says herb. Herb stripper, leaf remover, portable tool for camping and kitchen.
I'm teasing folks because I was raised up to pronounce the word H-E-R-B as herb, not herb. And so many people today pronounce it as herb.
Okay, now one thing, what it does is you get a bunch of leaf, like cilantro and parsley. I always had trouble. I didn't want to get the stems in there, but I always had to get stems in because I couldn't cut it without getting stems. But this, you just go like this and like a comb and get all those leaves off of there. And also, I wanted to know what these holes were for. And it's for things like collard greens. You get the collard greens and you pull it out like this and get it.
I thought that was to measure spaghetti.
Oh, that's a different type of utensil.
Oh, okay.
I do have something like that, but it's not with Temu. I had it before. But also, and then like, for example, you get mustard greens. The stem is smaller, so you use a smaller hole. And there's one that I didn't know about before, but I got this one. And the other one is a different one that has a lot of holes. And one hole is really tiny. It's for you to pull the stem of a rosemary through, and it takes off all those ends of the rosemary. Sorry, it fell down. I'll take care of it later.
Now we're throwing things away.
I'll take care of it later.
That little herb stripper was $1.18.
Yes. And by the way, I am, like I told you, I'm clumsy. I drop things easy too. So that's one of my problems I have. Besides being disabled, I can't stand very long because my back hurts really bad. But this is another thing.
That's a funny looking spoon.
Yes, it is, isn't it? I watched a video one day, and this lady had this, it was a bigger one, and she was making gravy with it. And Alan said, I haven't seen those around. And I thought I have seen them around. And I saw this on Temu, I thought that's what it was. And I ordered it, and I thought I got something smaller than what it was on Temu. But really, I went to look at the description, and I got what I asked for.
She read the description a little bit too late.
But I like it. I thought I got something that wasn't the size I wanted, and it wasn't going to work for what I wanted, but it works for something else, and it's really good. It's an egg beater. And if you want to beat just one egg really quick to scramble or even for anything else, and you want to make sure that the white of the egg and the yolk of the egg are mixed really good, this does it. It does it better than a fork.
All right. And that little egg beater is $1.68. Or at least that's what we paid for it. Want to remind you folks that Temu is constantly changing their prices. They may have something on sale today that will not be on sale tomorrow, or they may have something that's not on sale today that will be on sale tomorrow. You have to constantly keep checking their prices.
Yes, that's something you have to do because they do change. And say you see something you like, it's expensive today on Temu. Keep on looking because you'll find it with a lower price afterwards. Or they might disappear because everybody's buying them and then they come back with something with a lower price. So it's, you never know with Temu what price you're going to get. Now this here is a funny thing. Looking at it, you won't know what it is.
It's an ice pick.
That's what it looks like. Well, you don't even know that because it's in a container. And I like this container because it protects it. I don't know if you know what this would be. It's a meat thermometer. And I'll tell you one thing, it has on and off button. It has Celsius and Fahrenheit. So if you are used to Celsius, you don't have to worry. You just have to change it to Celsius. If you prefer Fahrenheit, you use the Fahrenheit. It has a hold button, and I really don't know what to use the hold button for, or the max and minimum. They're not something I would use, but if you know what it's for, you would probably want to use it. And one thing I want to tell you, it's a meat thermometer again. And you do not leave it in the meat while it's cooking or whatever else you're trying to measure the temperature. You don't leave it in there. When you use a candy thermometer, you leave it in, but not a meat thermometer. It will ruin it. But I use it, I stick it in, and I get the temperature. I take it out, clean it up for next time, then use it until I get it the right temperature. Then I clean it good and put it back in this container and put it in the drawer, and nothing will break it that way.
Now, if you shop for meat thermometers, they're $10, $15 on up. Normally at stores.
Probably 20 even.
That's right. This little meat thermometer that works just great for us was $1.67.
Wow, that is a deal.
That's for sure. And that's the end of our first order. Now, we want to let you folks know that many folks open up their packages in front of you and so forth. And since we just started with Temu, we wanted to try our items out before we shared them with you. So we'd let you know whether or not they were actually worth what we paid for them. And so far, we're perfectly happy with everything we've gotten. It's my turn, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
This starts out our second order with this little bitty fob. And what that is a remote to turn our telephone on. We record everything we do with our telephone. And this is a little remote control to turn the telephone on and off. Now, we've got some kind of setting wrong on our phone right now where it's not working properly. This is the second one we have. Neither one of them is working, so we know they're working, but they're supposed to give us a tone when they turn on and off, or the phone is, not the fob. And so we've got to figure out what went wrong with the phone. And
if any of you guys know, leave that on your comments if you know what we're doing wrong with the sound of our fob, and that would be helpful.
It's not the fob; it's the phone, because neither one of these little remotes is causing the
sound on
the phone. So
if you
And
know what to do, let us know.
I've spent an hour before we went online trying to figure it out. And so far, I haven't been able to figure it out. So if you can help us out, boy, would we be happy. All right. Next thing we have is a tripod mount. That's for a telephone. And I forgot to let you know the remote's price before we get to this. The remote was $1.68, and very very good price if you check the prices on these.
Oh, and I want to tell you, right now they're out of fobs or out of these remotes. So, because I went to check to get a picture, I had to get it somewhere else so we could follow with it, and it was out of it. They said that this is not, we don't have any right now available. So people have been buying them like crazy.
And they're well worth it. Okay, getting back to the tripod mount for the telephone. And as I mentioned, we use our telephone to do our recording. And so we needed an extra mount because we're going to start doing some recording outside our studio. We're getting ready to start a program called The Handicap Adventures of Alan and Susan Smith. That's right, we're handicapped. We both use an electric wheelchair because neither one of us can walk very far or stand up very long. And,
but we can do the two.
And we're going to start doing the program, going to different places like museums and other places that you might enjoy knowing about, and also seeing how a handicapped person needs to deal with going to places like that. Plus other things, handicapped people, especially if they're in wheelchairs, have problems with parking and so many other things. We want to share that with you also. So maybe that you can help us out someday when you see our van.
Many times when we go and they see us in the chair, they come up to us, can I help you? Can I help you? Well, I say you can. When you start seeing our videos, share them about handicap, because we're going to show things, ways you can help us. Sometimes you guys want to help us and there are things that aren't necessary to help us. But there are other ways you can help us and you're not even knowing that you're doing it.
Right. Okay, this little tripod mount costs $2.48. But by itself, it's kind of useless. So we got something else to go with it. It's this. It's a little tripod.
But it's also a handle, right?
The tripod or the camera holder screws right onto the tripod. And there we go. But it's much more than a tripod because you can put the little legs together and you can turn this down and reset the phone or the holder. And anyway, you've got a little handheld device to carry the phone and to hold it as you shoot your videos. So I thought this was really cool, and it's going to come in real handy once we start doing the outside recording. And this handle or tripod, whatever you want to call it, cost us $2.48. So just under $5, and we've got a complete handheld device to shoot our videos with. That's so exciting for me.
Yes.
Okay, our next item is in this little bag with colored things in it.
Mm-hmm. Was the others, but that's okay. I can do this one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It doesn't have to be exact order.
I put them in the wrong order.
But that's okay. This here is, I have 5 of them in this bag, and it's called a needle threader. If you've done any sewing and you have problem with your eyes, these come in so handy, because you look for the eye of the needle and you go through that with this and put the thread in here and bring it out. And those little metal ones, those aluminum ones that they fold and go in there in a little slot thing, and they come out real easily. Doesn't mean this isn't going to, but this won't come out as easy because it's bound into the plastic. And they're so much easier to use. I love these.
And that little package of needle threaders was 77 cents.
It's probably even cheaper than the aluminum ones I told you about.
And by the way, while we're talking about prices, Temu is not charging any shipping fees even. As cheap as these products are, they're not charging any shipping fee. And you have $90 to
90 days.
90 days to return an item. 90 days, not $90, 90 days to return an item. Okay, the next item she can't wait to get are these.
I love these spoons. They're little wooden spoons. They're so cute.
She likes wooden spoons.
I like wooden spoons.
That's where all my knots came from. Not really.
I love wooden spoons, but I also like little tiny things like this. But I got these for a purpose. My husband got a new sweetener because he's diabetic. It's called Pure Cane, and it's a good sweetener. They were sending, where if you bought so much, you did not have to pay shipping, and now they're starting to charge shipping.
Yeah, they increased the price of the
so
product.
he might not be able to get his sugar, and that's the only type of sweetener he can eat those cereals with or something like that, because its consistency is like sugar, and it's made from cane.
Yeah, it's made out of sugar cane, and what they do is some type of fermenting process, and this is the best sweetener, and it's not artificial. Best sweetener I've found in years.
But getting back to these spoons, well, they sold them in little containers for you to refill
The sweetener
with.
Not
So
spoons.
I used one for his sweetener and one for my raw sugar. And that way, that's why I got these 2 spoons for those 2 things. And I think it's really neat.
Yeah, we went almost bankrupt with those. $1.98 for those 2 spoons. Isn't that wonderful? Okay. A handheld device in a bag. That's a secret bag.
Yes, you don't want to go walking around with this here, everybody knowing what's in here. But it's called a portable bidet. This is a bottle, and this is where you put water in here. Not cold water and not too hot, warm water. And you take this thing off. There's 2 little different things. According to the setting, this is for babies, and it's like a sprayer. And this, it focuses on, like you put it like this, it focuses on the bottom. It's supposed to be this way for men and this way for women. I haven't had success in doing it without getting myself all wet yet.
But it's a learning process.
Yes, I have used a regular bidet where I don't have to handle it, and those work good. And I recommend them because you would really save on toilet paper, but also, I don't know if you guys have problems on wiping and you go and wipe again, and there's so much stuff that comes out that you cannot get yourself wiped. Oh, that's a problem I have. I think it's caused by the hemorrhoids that you get as you get older, especially if you had a lot of constipation. And that's something I've had all my life. And I feel for you guys that have had constipation, because that's a problem that is not very good. And these things come in handy. If I can get the knack of it here at home, I can pick it out with me and use it if I need to in the stores or wherever I go, if I need to use the bathroom at that time, because I can't carry a toilet bidet with me.
So the handheld bidet was $3.99. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, that is.
Next, two items that go together.
Well, we bought them, they didn't come together. We bought them separately, but we bought two of them because this is what it does. If you can see there, it's a place. Here's the seat. Could be the driver's seat right there, but it could be the passenger seat too. And you put it on your chair that way, and that's how it goes.
And you store different items in there.
So there should have been oh, there is here. This is the strap that goes down here somehow. I guess we put it in here, in this thing here.
One strap goes on the headrest, the other strap probably goes on your seat belt.
The seat belt, or the little handle that you push, you adjust the back of the chair. That's where it goes, and it ties on there. And this goes up there and Velcros back. And it stays up, but it holds soda cans, like it shows here, a bottle of water, and little things here in this cubby. And then there's another little cubby up on top of that. So I think that's cool. And the reason I want to tell you something, I need your help, is that we have a van that's been made into a handicap van. And when they did that, they took the console out of our van.
Console from in between the front seats.
Yes, we do have the cup holders that pull out, but sometimes we have a bottle of something and we get something else and we don't have where to put that bottle that's left. We need a good console for the middle of, in between our chairs. And we have not been able to find one that's not too expensive. They used to sell them all the time everywhere, and you go into Walmart and to Myers or anywhere, and you would find a bunch of those things. Now you can't find them anywhere. And this was before COVID. You couldn't find them anywhere. And so if anybody knows where we can find something like that, I'd appreciate that you communicate with us about it.
Okay, those items cost us $2.48.
Wow, that's gonna break us, isn't it? That was both of them for $2.48. That's right.
Here's our next device.
Oh boy, this is something else. But this will tell you, it's supposed to be a 10-in-1 tool. You can tell that there's a fork there, there's a spoon, there's a can opener and a bottle opener.
There's a cutting edge on it.
Yeah, there's a cutting edge on it, like a knife. There is also a place for, what is it called? A wrench, a direction indicator, and a slot screwdriver. I don't know exactly what that is, but my husband does. So anybody that's in that area, that's worked in that area, knows. But there's all those things. It says there's 10 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Well, it shows
here.
9, but
shows
says
9.
10.
But the wrench, you can see There's 1, 2, 3, 4 sizes. So I don't know if that's what they're trying to say, but then if that was, it would be more than 10. So I don't know what it is.
And that little device cost $1.59.
I thought it's nice to keep in our glove compartment in case we find ourselves in a place we need to use something like that.
Now, the last item we have for review, we had to take away from a grizzly bear. Not really.
I saw these, and they show a person going like this with a chicken and getting the meat out. It's a thing to be able to separate the meat, and you could do that without getting your hands full of grease all the time. We like to stop at KFC once in a while because it is expensive when we go to our appointments to get something to eat every time, especially if we have 4 or 5 appointments in that month, right?
That's right.
And so we get, he likes a breast and I like a thigh, and I break up his breast into pieces because he's driving, and I put it in a plastic container and some salt and mix it up real good, and he can pick it out of there and eat it. But yeah, I try to get the bones out of it first. But then the only time I'd have to be putting my fingers in there is just to pick the bones out if I have this. Because the other thing, because I have to tear the meat apart, and it's a long time with that, and I get my hands so full of grease. But with this, it will minimize that amount of grease on my hands.
Those bear claws cost us $1.68.
So I hope they work. There's some things we didn't try yet, but some of them we have. We just haven't had the opportunity to use them yet. But we wanted to get this out to you right away because the ones we've used we really like.
And once again, we have already placed another Temu order, placed it about 3 days ago. Takes about 2 weeks to get the items, so we're looking forward to getting them.
Well, it's not like Wish then, huh?
No, Wish takes forever.
Months and months and months. So, and maybe you might not get it. So I'm so glad that to tell you about Temu, because it's, even though it comes from overseas, we get it at a timely manner, and we've enjoyed everything we've got so far.
And once we get the new order in, we will sit down with another Temu review. So good to be with you folks this evening. Tell others about this review program. Would you do that, please? And we've got other types of programming on our channel, so be sure and check out our other programming. So until
Next time.
may God bless each of you is our prayer.
That's